Second World War loikibadagi Soviet Union amadi US anigi marakta Cold War horaki. Nation ani asi Prithivigi amatang araba superpower oinabagidamakta chawkhatpa tanaraki amadi space race tawba horaki. America nadi Soviet tagi hiram khudimakta makhoina hele haina khallubani. Adubu 1957 gi October gi tarik marida Soviet Union na Prithivigi ihan hanba artificial satellite Sputnik 1 launch tawki. America amadi Soviet Union anigi marakta taunariba space race asi Soviet kangbuna sungam salakpadagi American public mayamdagi government pressure aroibida laami. Maram asina 1961 gi May gi tarik 15 da matamdugi American President John F. Kennedy na public conference amada sahi tarasigi manungsida makhoina thada kaba ihan hanba leibak oiduna space race asa makhoina soidana ngamgani haina yamna bold oiba amadi challenging oiba statement asi haiki.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
John F. Kennedy gi masigi challenge asina maram oiraga Soviet Union amadi United States anigi marakta taunariba space race asi hanadagi kanchalakpa helaki. Hada ihan hana kaba leibak ama oinaba makhoina kanna honariba sa hada just flag khara yungchallaga moon rock khara poraaga madu study tawduna lainabagidamakta natte. Hada ihan hana kaba leibak asina Prithivigi miyam mamangda military supremacy amadi technology yamna advance oire haibasa tapada natana national pride amasu oigadoribani khanbagi leibak ani asa yam kanna angam tanaribani. 1965 da American amadi Soviet kangbugi lunar probe singdagi ihan hana dark side of the moon gi photo kaptuna ground da ihan hana tharaki. Lunar probe sing asina dark side of the moon da namakpo photo sing asi urubadagi Prithivigi superpower ani asina makhoise yam thengkhre haina realize toroki. Maramdi phasa aikoi human nataba atopa civilization amana loksan khre habasa khangwa ngamki. Mayamda ngasi aina tawjarakadriba wari asidi alien gi base lay hairiba dark side of the moon gi matangda tawjarage. Scientific evidence kaya amana backing tawba wari su oibanina yamna interesting oiba wari amadi oibani. Mayamsu open minded oiduna wari asi loibu fawba tabinaba haijari. In 1969 gi July gi tarik kunda Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na aikoi miyoiba gi history da thagi leimai da ihan hana khongdaba human oiki.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Apollo 11 gi mission asida yawa mayamna forgotten astronaut haragazu khangnaba Michael Collins hariba astronaut asina kanamta leitaba space aduda thagi orbit ta koiduna Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin bu ngaiduna leiki. Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na aikoi mankind gi history da khwaidagi chawthok chaningai oiba ihan hanba thada landing tawbagi thabak asi tawrikan matam asida Michael Collins di dark side of the moon lomda magi command module ladda mathanda pairaga leiki. Mayamna dark side of the moon hairaga yam mamba thagi jaga amoina khanabani. Adubu tasengbagidi dark side of the moon hairaga kayamta mamba jaga natte. Aikoi miyoibana Prithividagi suu udaba thagi atopa side ama oibagi dark side of the moon haina hainabani. Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na July gi tarik kunda thagi leimaida landing tawduna makhoigi tawgadaba thabak sing ado tawloraba matungda pung kunmuk leiraga July gi tarik 12 da Michael Collins na pairaga leiriba command module aduda amuk halakhi. Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na thagi leimaida pung kunmuk leirikan timing aduda Michael Collins ti mathanda magi command module aduda tongduna thagi orbit da koiduna leirabi. Dark side of the moon haina khangnaba thagi jaga asida radio signal keka amta yaudabana maram oiraga Michael Collins na magi command module adu tongduna lunar revolution tawri khudingi minute nifuni pandi Prithvi da leba mioi amataga contact tawnaba yadabada maram oiraga space aduda mathanda pairaga lerami masida aina minute nifuni pandi Prithvi da leba mioi amataga contact tawnaba yade hariba sigi maramdi Michael Collins na tongliba command module aduna thasa mafung phana round ama koibada minute chamaga tarani panchangi aduga dark side of the moon gi jaga sa lanthoknaba hotnabadana minute nifuni panchangi dark side of the moon hariba jaga asidadi radio signal kaka am phangdabana maram oiraga Prithvi da leba mioi singa communication sa pura cut off tawki maram asina Michael Collins na mathanda kanamtaga pau phongna dabida pairaga leiribani
I am alone now, truly alone, and absolutely isolated from any known life. I and it. If account were taken, the score would be 3 billion plus 2 over on the other side of the moon, and 1 plus God knows what on this side.
Human communication pura cut off tawkraba dark side of the moon gi jaga asida mana pairaga lakpa khudingi Michael Collins na magi headset ta makhon ama dum tarami Prithvi da mioi amtaga communication chu tawwa yadaba yamna pungchik chikpa mafam asida mathanda command module da pairaga leirikanduda tabam sukthok thok taba makhol jat tara adi mi sha kibana loini natra adubu Michael Collins ti kiramdi maramdi makoina Apollo 11 gi mission asi chatrikanda you are not alone on the moon haiba wahaya sa hairakibana maram oiraga kijarasu khara faribani Michael Collins masana su maonda hanana warning tawra amdradi mayam sathina kigani haina su haiki
Had I not been warned about it, it would have scared the hell out of me.
Apollo 11 gi mission da chatpa yawgadoriba astronaut ahumakta thagi leimaida nakoina yawraba matamda you are not alone on the moon haibasa matam punamakta kawganu haina NASA gi kangbuna mission chatlamdaida hanjan haiki May 1969 da launch tawkiba Apollo 10 na thagi orbit ta koiri kanda dark side of the moon gi mapa yawrakpada yamna strange oiba sound gi transmission ama makoi gi headset aduda tara ami Apollo 10 gi astronaut sing aduna masigi sound asibu whistling space music haina ming thonki
That music even sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? You hear that? That whistling sound? Look at your... Yeah, it sounds like, outer space-time music.
masigi sound ase ahanba tabadadi Prithvi dagi lakpa transmission ama oramgani haina khalambadi adubu makoina pairiba jaga adu radio wave kumba amta yowbungamdaba mafam thagi dark side romda oibana transmission ado Prithvi dagi lakpa natte dark side of the moon gi chawkhraba mafam asigi jaga amadagi lakpane haibasa makoina khanglami Apollo 10 gi mission adu loiduna Prithvi da hala aba matungda maduda yawruba astronaut singna thada human nataba kanagumba advance of species ama soidana makki leramgani haina haike masina maram oiraga Apollo 11 gi astronaut singda makhoi nataba atopa species ama thagi surface ta thengnaba yai haina hanana warning pirakkiba leibanina Michael Collins na strange oiba sound ado tabada akiba faudribani thagi orbit ta koiduna leiriba Michael Collins ti sound khatani tarido thagi leimaida leiriba Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin di masigi thada leiriba advance oiba human natabi species asiga direct thengnarami Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na thada kanagumba advance oiba species amaga thengnai haibasa akoina kamaina khangrino haibasa sigi matangsta mu haijara age Apollo 11 gi moon landing gi mission aduda astronaut sing aduga ground da leba miyoi kangbu sing amadi US president ga wari sanabagi pung henba recording kaya ama leiri researchers kaya na recording sing asibu nainarubada yamna strange oiba ama thengnarami minute ahum hena sangba radio communication gi audio recording yawramdaba thengnaki researcher sing aduna masigi minute ahum gi audio recording asigi matangda NASA da hanglubada NASA kangbuna mangkhre haina haira ami Prithivida khwaidagi chawba space organization asina akhoi human civilization gi ihan hanba moon landing gi audio recording machet ama mangkhre kaina haijalakpasidi karigumba khoida khanganingdaba ma leire haiba natro iba humba kanba source labor researchers kayana thibadagi audio recording ada phangdrabasu transcript fanglami masigi transcript asa urubadagi kari maramgi damakta audio recording sa mahan khrino haibase mayamna khangwa ngamki masigi minute ahumgi audio recording asida Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na thada atop spaceship leiramba thengnaba amadi alien species asina makhoide yengaga leire haibagi ground da pau pirakpa radio communication oiramki
No, not enough to go. No one's gonna believe this. Whistle. I say that there were other spaceships. They're lined up on the other side of the crater. There they are, and they're watching us.
Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na thada American flag yungkiba adu Prithivida leba miyoi khudimangna loina khangnaramgani haina khali adubu ground da leba staff amadi astronaut sing asi natana miyoi amtana khangdaba pochak amasu Neil Armstrong amadi Buzz Aldrin na thagi leimaida thanamki ihan hanba thagi leimaida khong thangkebagi footprint adugi manakta yamna pikpa white machugi bag ama astronaut sing asina thanamki masigi yamna pikpa bag asigi manungda peace ki symbol amasu oiriba sanana saba olive branch ama yawrami masigi olive branch asi khak natana lupa chapi mukchawa disc amasu haplami masigi disc asida microscope thalaga khak uba fangadoba yam sathina pikna NASA amadi Prithivigi country humdrani thoigi world leader na peace pami haibagi message amasu yawrami sanana saba peace ki symbol oiriba olive branch amadi lupa chapi mukchawa disc aduda peace ki message iduna karigidamukta thagi lebakta puriba kanamta leitaba mafam ama oiramagadi madu pugadra NASA kangbuna thada human nataba atopa species ama leira haibasa hanadagi khangbadagi peace ki paujelasa pugani haibasa haijaningi 1965 ta Gemini 4 gi crew singna space ta UFO sightings tawasa ihan hana tawki masigi sina Gemini 4 gi astronaut James McDivitt ki radio transcript yawrambadagi khanglakibani
I just saw something else up here with me, but just as I was getting close enough to it to take a good picture, the sun got in the way and I lost it. It had big arms sticking out of it, it looked like. I only had it for just a minute.
Masigi sighting sasa hek tawkibadagi NASA gi scientist amadi astronaut singna UFO haibagi mahutta atopa pot oiba word boogie Santa Claus amadi fire aina sizinaba hauki Apollo 8 na lunar orbit ta 1968 ta chatluba matamda thagi dark side mapa yoropada Santa Claus ama thengnare haina ground da report tawraki madugi Santa Claus thengnare haibigi report adugi asengba audio recording aduna sida leire
Apollo 8, loud clear. Roger. Please be informed there is a Santa Claus. That's affirmative. You're the best one to know.
Apollo mission kayagi report amadi recording sing karigidamakta NASA na public ta lotliban NASA kangbuna public aikoida khanganingdaba pochak thada leire haibasa yam laina khangwa ngamdra aduga NASA kangbuna aikoida khanganingdru pochak ada karino haibasisu whistleblower mayamgi matingdagi aikoina haujikti khangwa ngamle whistleblower haibadi government ki arun athuk mayambu public ta thongna fana haidok pirakliba kangbu adubun 1965 ki June thada Carl Wolf ko airman second class asi NASA kangbuna makhoi gi Lunar Orbital Project Facility da invite tawra'ami. Mana mafam adu yawbada scientist mayam ama leirami. Yamna strange oiba amana scientist mayam ado NASA gi scientist khata natlamdi. Prithvi gi atopa country mayam amagi scientist singsu leiramba thengnaki. Maduda Carl Wolf na atopa foreign countries mayam gi scientist sing asi NASA da kari tawbugi leiribano haina khanki. Aduga scientist sing ado yamna serious oiba mawngda yamna luba discussion nama tawbagi mawngda leibasu uki.
And the first thing I thought to myself, if this is NASA, what are all these foreigners doing here? What are all these people from other countries speaking other language? Didn't make any sense to me.
Carl Wolf hariba nupa asidi just icham chamba technician amani. NASA gi facility asida mana laklebasa lunar satellite tagi tharakpa image singbo process tawnaba equipment nama yadabagi semba lakpani. Imaging equipment aduna leiba dark room aduda changduna yadriba equipment ado workstation amada thangdok thangjin tawge haibagi ayaba launaba clearance ngari kan timing asida mafam aduda thabak tawba atopa airman amana Carl Wolf ta yamna pakhat pasakta mamaga loinana NASA kangbuna backside of the moon da alien base leiba thengnare haina hairakduna photo amu ulakhi. Hariba photo asi hek urubadagi Carl Wolf ti yam sathina excited warami. Nupa aduna ulakpa photo aduda dark side of the moon gi jagada buildings mayam ama leiba Carl Wolf nasu uba fangki.
About 30 minutes into the process, he said to me, in a very distressed way, by the way, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. And then he proceeded to put photographs down in front of me, and clearly in these photographs were structures, mushroom-shaped buildings, spherical buildings, and towers.
Carl Wolf na magi thaba adu loishilamaga mayumda yamna excited oina hala'ami. Nungdang waramgi pawda mana ngasai ukiba thargi dark side ta alien base leirame haibagi pawda details ta habla ani khanduna ngairaga leiki. Adubu madugi pawdadi details ta hablakpadi lairadana panba fo palamkide. Madudagi Carl Wolf na NASA amadi government na manaraga cover up tawkhre haibasa khanglami. Aduga masi government ki cover up asida ma masasu indirectly yaurabani ko haina khanbada yamna nungairamkide. Maram asina NASA amadi government na public da lotchaliba information asa mayamda khangalage khanduna mana interview kayada amadi TV channel kayada mana thengnakiba asengba wari singada haidokpa haurakhi. 2001 da tawkiba National Press Conference da mana thengnakiba asengba singado haiki. Aduga mana hariba singasa aranba semjan sajanba amta yaude asengba ngaktani haina Congress ki mamangda testify su tawgani haina haiki.
And I will testify under oath before Congress that what I'm saying is the truth.
Adubu testify tawbagi chance mangonda fangkide. Conference ado hek loikibaga ikuidrikanda truck amana thomduna Carl Wolf siki. Mabu thomlanliba truck adu ngasi fawba thiba fangdri. Aduk yam chakhatlaba America da truck driver ama thiba fangdaba haibasa masisu angakpa amani natra. Carl Wolf khakta natana NASA gi cover up sing asibu public mayamda khangange haina hotnaba whistleblower kaya ama leiri. Dr. Ken Johnston hariba nupa asi 1969 dagi NASA da aerospace engineer amoina thabak tawrami. Apollo mission da yauruba astronaut singna namba yamna confidential oiba photo khara mana soibadagi thengnarami. Photo sing adu ubada yamna excited oibada natana akibasu farami. Photo sing aduda alien gi city leiba ubada natana ancient machinery kaya amasu urami. Dome buildings, stone towers, spacecraft na chingba mayam ama leibasu thengnarami. Photo file mayam adudagi photo amakak mana yam tuminna copy tahoduna thamjan hauki. NASA na public mayamda asengba achumba sukhai haidabadu ubada sauningakpadagi mahakna 1995 da tawba press conference amada thada alien base lay madugi proof na image asini haina mana ngasai lochanawa image adu putoktana utki. Mana adu hairubadagi mahakpu NASA dagi tanthoki. Donna Hare hariba nupi asisu NASAꯗ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯕ NASAꯒꯤ any jagada changbagi secret clearance phangaba nupi amakhakni.
I was talking to one of the techs in there, and he drew my attention to a photograph, a NASA photograph. It had a dot on it, and I said, "What is that?" Well, he drew my attention to it, and I said, "Is that a dot on the emulsion?" And he's smiling, and he has his hands crossed, and he said, "Round dots on the emulsion don't leave round shadows on the ground."
Mana masida haisa, aikoigi lunar satellite dagi tharakpa image ta alien UFO amadi spacecraft kumba yawba thengnarabati madugi image sing ado NASA na public ta thadoraktrikanda edit tawthoe haibani.
And by its very nature, UFO, and I wanted to clarify that to a gentleman that was talking to me, means unidentified. So I did not know what this was. But I realized at this point that it's very secret, that it was kept secret, because I asked him, "What are you going to do with this piece of information?" And he said, "We always airbrush these out before we sell them to the public."
NATO da thabak tawba Robert Dean koba US Army Major asina 1974 da the assessment koba classified oiba report ama mahakna thengnarami. Masigi report asi 1961 da thokiba UFO incident amagi report amani. Hariba report asigi manungda Neil Armstrong hoina namakpa cigar shape manba UFO amadi dick shape manba UFO gi imaging yauramba thengnaki. Aduga thagi laimaida leiba Landsberg crater hariba mafam asida chaura buildings kaya ama leibagi image su mahang uba fangki.
The astronauts in orbit above the moon were particularly fascinated by the Landsberg crater. There was construction going on. There were gigantic facilities in the crater up there, so they were specifically delegated and assigned to photograph Landsberg to see if they could figure out what the hell was going on down there. While they were looking at Landsberg, this object happened to express interest in them and flew by.
Hagi laimaida leiriba Landsberg crater asida tawriba activity mayamasa karino haina astronauts sing na thijalikanda astronauts sing adugi spacecraft manakta pairakhiba masak khangdaba object sing adugi photo ni masina. NASA kangbuna hairi madudi fraud oiba mioi kaya ama fake oiba information kaya ama sandokpana maram oiraga public aikoina NASA dagi thoklakpa source khak thajagadabani atopa site ki source amadi whistleblower sing bu thajaganu hairi. Adubu aikoina kamaina NASA thajadoinu oidaba khwaidagi ngangbadi moini original photo mayam ama public ta thadoraktrikanda makhoina edit tawthoi haibase aikoina khangaga leirabani. NASA na Mars number photo sing semdok sadoktuna edit tawe haibase aigi nuclear war on Mars hariba episode aduda details sa yaurabani. Madugi episode adusu yam phajabani. Mayamna yenginglabsu description da link hapsaramge adu adum sangaga yengba yagani. 1994 da Clementine orbiter na hagi surface ki photo 2 million hena namami. Photo sing ado public da release tawthorakpada mioi kaya amana blur taw photo mayam ama thengnaki. Masigi photo asi hagi leimaida leiba Zeeman crater hariba crater adugi image ni. Masida blur chathanduna aikoida uhandribasa kariguma pochak ama aikoi public tagi lotna ba hotnare haibasa takpani. Adubu photo editor expert singna masigi blurred oiba image asa overlap tawsanduna enhance tawga yengbadadi masigi photo asida uriba object asini makoina blur chathanami basi. Masigi object asi Zeeman object hargasu khangnaki. Photo asibu study toriba researchers kaya amanadi masigi object asa city muk chawba alien gi spacecraft oiramgani haina hairi. Researchers kaya aduna masigi Zeeman object asa building oiramoy spacecraft oiramgani na hairi basigi maramdi Zeeman crater da atopa angle amada number photo da masigi object asi nattaba atopa object amasu thengnaki. Masigi atopa angle amadagi number blurred oiba photo asibu enhance tawdunu yengubadadi yamna chawba hanagi duga manadaba spacecraft amagi saktamni uba fanglibasi. Masida sunatana giant footprints manba mayam ama dark side of the moon gi jagada leiramba photo su thengnaki. Masigi giant footprint manba moong asa scientist kayana asteroid na tarak paini hairi. ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯔꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯥꯃꯤꯗ ꯁꯦꯞꯀꯤ ꯕꯤꯜꯗꯤꯡ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯏꯜ 10 ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯋꯥꯡꯕ ꯇꯥꯋꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯦ ꯏꯀꯨꯏ ꯀꯨꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯗ 2021ꯗꯁꯨ ꯆꯥꯏꯅꯤꯁ ꯃꯨꯟ ꯔꯣꯕꯔ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯇꯣ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯎꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯛ ꯈꯪꯗꯕ ꯑꯣꯕꯖꯦꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯈꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯕꯖꯦꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯍꯠ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯊꯣꯟꯈꯤ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯉꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯊꯧꯑꯣꯡ ꯀꯌా ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯕ ꯁꯤꯇꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯕꯤꯜꯗꯤꯡ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯃꯈꯩꯗꯤ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯦꯄꯣꯂꯣ 11ꯒꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯔꯨ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯍ꯭ꯌꯨꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯀꯥꯔꯨꯔꯒ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯄꯒ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯁ ꯀꯟꯐꯔꯦꯟꯁꯀꯤ ꯚꯤꯗꯤꯑꯣꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ
a beginning of a new age.
ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯥꯏꯇꯦꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯗꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯁꯛꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯊꯋꯥꯏ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯕ ꯀꯤꯖꯕ ꯑꯟꯀꯝꯐꯣꯔꯇꯦꯕꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯁꯛꯐꯝ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯀꯥꯔꯨꯕ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯁꯛꯐꯝ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯦꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯏꯔꯥꯏ ꯂꯥꯏꯅꯁꯨ ꯇꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯆꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ 1950ꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯁꯨꯄꯔ ꯄꯥꯋꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯣꯜ ꯋꯥꯔ ꯇꯧꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯁꯣꯚꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯌꯟ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯃꯦꯔꯤꯀꯥꯅ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯃꯤꯂꯤꯇꯔꯤ ꯕꯦꯁ ꯑꯦꯁꯇꯥꯕ꯭ꯂꯤꯁ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯔꯤꯖꯤꯅꯦꯜ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯁꯦ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯣꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯋꯦꯄꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟꯅꯤ ꯊꯥꯕꯨ ꯋꯦꯄꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯤꯂꯤꯇꯔꯤ ꯁꯨꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯃꯦꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯔꯛꯄꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ 1950ꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯨꯟ ꯂꯦꯟꯗꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯅꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯞ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯌꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
JFKꯒꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯦꯂꯦꯟꯖꯤꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯆ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯤꯈꯤꯕꯗꯒꯤ 1960ꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯀꯥꯅꯕ ꯂꯝꯖꯦꯟ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯟꯆꯠꯂꯛꯈꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ 1965ꯇ ꯂꯨꯅꯔ ꯑꯣꯔꯕꯤꯇꯔꯗꯒꯤ ꯊꯥꯔꯛꯄ ꯗꯥꯔꯛ ꯁꯥꯏꯗ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯗ ꯃꯨꯟꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯦꯂꯤꯌꯟ ꯕꯦꯁ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯎꯔꯨꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯋꯦꯄꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯏꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯣꯛꯊꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯣꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯊꯈꯤ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯇ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯃꯦꯔꯤꯀꯥꯅ 1969ꯗ ꯀꯥꯈꯤ ꯁꯣꯚꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯌꯟꯁꯨ ꯀꯌꯥꯔꯛꯇꯤ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯈꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯥꯏꯕꯛ ꯊꯤꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯃꯦꯟ ꯃꯤꯁꯟ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯊꯥꯕ ꯉꯝꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯁꯨ ꯉꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ 1972ꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯊꯥꯗ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯦꯄꯣꯂꯣ 17ꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯟ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯀꯥꯔꯨꯕ ꯏꯔꯣꯏ ꯂꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯤꯁꯟꯅꯤ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯕꯃꯛꯀꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯥꯁꯥꯅ ꯑꯦꯄꯣꯂꯣ ꯃꯤꯁꯟ ꯑꯁꯤ 20 ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ 17 ꯇꯧꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯀꯦꯟꯁꯦꯜ ꯇꯧꯈꯤ ꯁꯣꯚꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯌꯟꯁꯨ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯆꯠꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯖꯦꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ 1974ꯗ ꯀꯦꯟꯁꯦꯜ ꯇꯧꯈꯤ ꯆꯍꯤ 5-10 ꯃꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯊꯥꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯃꯥꯏꯗ ꯆꯠꯅꯕ ꯂꯝꯖꯦꯟ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯔꯝꯂꯒ इखंग खंगौदना नेशन अनि असिना मूनगी मिशन मयाम कैंसिल तौरीबसी करिगिनो 1969 दगी 1972 फाउगी मनुंगजिदा चलुबा मून मिशन सिंगदा थादा हॉस्टाइल ओइबा एलियन स्पीसीज अमा थेंगनबदगी एलियन स्पीसीज अदुना थादा अखोय ह्यूमन कारकप पामदबदगी तोकपनी हाइना कंस्पिरेसी थ्योरीज मयाम हाइरि हौजिक फाउबा अखोयना थादा मेन मिशन अमता तौद्रिबसा मसी नतना अतोप मरम अमता लैते हाइनासु हाइरि 1960s की मतमदा अखोय पृथ्वी की सुपर पावर ओइबा कंट्री अनि हाइरगदी US अमदि सोवियत यूनियन खतनी अदुबु मतमदुदा मखोयदगी हेन्ना सुपर पावर ओइबा एडवांस ओइबा स्पीसीज अमसु लैरमी अदुगा हाइरिबा स्पीसीज अदुदि करिनो हाइबा मतमदा थागी डार्क साइड लोमदा लैरिबा स्पीसीज अदुनि मयामदा ngasi aina lijariba wari asida yawba scientific evidence amade report mayam asi semjin sajinba report amta yawde sumba report amadi wari lay haina mayam da share tawgani masida thajaba haibidi mi wakal lay haijani NASA kangbunadi Apollo mission 20 tawgadawada 17 faudang tawraga cancel tawkribadu budget ta problem laybidagi tokpani haina hairi aduga Thagi lemai da lay hariba building amadi tower sing adusu optical illusion ni light na trick sanabani haina hai. Astronaut sing aduna dark side of the moon gi mapa yoroppada sound transmission ama taribadu equipment malfunction tawba horakpagi ni haina hai. Adubu aigi oinadi NASA na hariba sing asi amta thajade. Mayamdi karambani hena thajage habida comment habiramo. Ado amabu oire aikoina tha se icham chamba natural satellite amani haina khalliba se masidi sona natte haijani. Aduga tha se mystery mayamna thalaba object amani haiba se masimasu haijaramge. Masigidi matang ase loisinjaraga mathangdi yamna interesting oiba topic Carter Chef scale gi matang doina tawraage aduda amuk thengnarasi.